It's a beautiful fall morning here in Vancouver, and we're about to head out on one of GSA's many exciting field trips. The one we're about to embark on today, Field Trip 416, full access to the geology of the Sea to Sky Highway. Let's go meet the team and find out where we're going.
I study geology education. I'm excited to see the range of sort of perspectives and diversity that everyone brings to the trip, what they can contribute and where they've come from, and everyone with different backgrounds will, I think, have something unique to contribute.
Right now I work for the University of Michigan doing Great Lakes research. I am excited about mountains. I'm from the Midwest, so there's no such thing as mountains there.
I study economic geology. I'm excited about seeing things or hearing things that I don't know about sea to sky geology, because I feel like I know the basics having grown up in Vancouver, but I'm sure there's things that are really interesting that I have no idea.
Part of what I do is landslide work and mapping landslides and looking at their hazards, so it's a good chance to see some good examples in Canada.
I study meteor impacts and Mars. I'm just interested in getting to see a little bit more glacial processes, and so I primarily work in deserts, so this will be different geology to experience.
I would like to focus on earthquakes and volcanoes, so seismology and geophysics. Anything that relates to the volcanoes and just the rock structures will be very exciting for me, especially because I'll be able to feel it. This trip is important to me in particular because I just feel like it'll prove that I'll actually be able to do this as a realistic career, that my disability won't get in the way.
All right, so Chris, we're here at Third Beach Stanley Park in Vancouver. Why did you choose to take everyone onto this spot?
We wanted an opportunity to broaden the access of the geosciences and to show what Vancouver has to offer for people who traditionally just can't get out to see what geology is firsthand. We promoted this trip as a completely accessible trip. We've got a great group of participants, and hopefully we're going to be able to learn from each other from the different experiences that they offer and the different perspectives that they bring. We've got tactile maps that are with us today. People who visually can't observe what we're looking at are going to be able to see it tactically as well. You can learn a lot of different things from different vantage points.
Brett, we're at another location on our field trip. Tell us, where are we?
So we are up at the second stop of the trip. It's the Cypress Mountain Lookout. And so the purpose of being here is to sit and look out over the whole of the Lower Mainland and sort of see the different geomorphic zones that we have out here.
So what should everybody be looking out for when they're on this trip?
So what we're having them do is look for what they think is important geologically. We have a huge range of experience on this trip, with full professors down to students who've never taken a geology course. And so what we're hoping is that they start to just look at this area and start to think about what they see geologically. And we're going to have a talk about how these different zones of Vancouver have different responses to things like natural hazards. Certainly some things, earthquakes, are more concerning in some other areas, and places like the mountains you'd be more worried about landslides. I just love this trip. I've done this trip more than 30 times. I grew up in Vancouver, and so it's just fun to share. People really like the area.
It's really interesting to be up here just to see the very steep slopes, the outcropping, the river system coming in on the city down here. It's interesting to get into an environment that is so completely different from the desert that I live and work in.
Seeing a new environment, new city, but also seeing how people with very different backgrounds and very different ability levels are interacting and learning from each other, and sharing their strengths. That's really, really special.
This has been a very enriching experience for me to be able to collaborate with some very intelligent people that have interpreted their education differently than how I have, and that for me has just been, it's a breath of fresh air.
Geology is lovely, but the really huge experience for me is being with all of these people with different diverse abilities, right? And normally when I'm in the field, it's like I'm the only person with a disability that's obvious. So just interacting with everybody and hearing their experience and all of these different perspectives is really cool.
Well, we've got to leave the group now, but I've seen so much of Vancouver's fantastic geology today and learned a lot. It's time to head back to the convention center.